Hello and welcome. The moment is here. We've all been waiting for it all season long. These teams train and prepare and put in the work day after day for a chance at glory, for a chance at this moment right here. This is the Fake Sports League Championship game. The season has been long and it has not been easy. We have lost some players due to injury. We have gained some players back. Superstars have been made and superstars have fallen off. But at the start of the season, we had 12 teams and now we are down to our final two, the two best teams in the FSL today. Let's take a moment to get everyone caught up here on these two teams today. Of course, I'd urge you, if you haven't already, to go back and watch the rest of the season. If you're new here, go ahead and close your eyes, go back to the Season 4 playlist, pick a team, and follow their journey all the way up to the championship game. But if not, we're already here. I am thrilled to introduce to you our two championship teams. Today, it is the Comets versus the Red Pandas. A young rivalry blossoming between these two franchises. But these two teams already have a past with each other, and these two teams will certainly create history following the conclusion of this game. Starting off with the Comets. Being a Comets fan is not for the light of heart. Over the first 3 seasons, the Comets have been struggling, to put it lightly, finishing at the bottom of the league prior to our first preliminary draft in FSL history. That's right, the Comets had the #1 overall pick in the preliminary FSL draft. They picked up a young superstar in Jaden Little, who many would say did not meet the expectations set for him. Back to the drawing board in Season 4 this time with the #2 overall pick, and the Comets grabbed Max Adams. Now Max was a complete turnaround from what they saw in Jaden Little. He put up absolute video game numbers game after game, finishing the season out as the Offensive Rookie of the Year, as the Offensive Player of the Year, and of course, the FSL MVP trophy resides with Max Adams on the Comets. The Comets have been the #1 team in the FSL for the majority of the season, and they find themselves today in the championship game with a 9-2 record. Now here's where our story gets interesting, because these two teams have played before, but being that these two franchises are rivals, they met their match in rivalry week to finish out the season. At that point, the Comets were already the #1 team. They had already clinched the playoffs. They had already clinched the first round bye. The Comets elected to sit all of their starters, keep them healthy, and get them trained up for the postseason, which many would say allowed the Red Pandas a few go-ahead scores and allowed them to win that matchup to finish the season. Red Pandas fans would say a win is a win, and they have played each other once, and the Red Pandas came home with the victory, which leads us to introduce our second team today, the Red Pandas. Many would say the Red Pandas didn't even deserve to be here, finishing out our 6th seed of our 16 playoff. Had the Red Pandas lost that game, the nod would have probably gone to the Flame, but they are here now, and it is not by accident. The Red Pandas started their postseason with a victory over the Knights at the Knights. Then they had to travel on the road yet again and beat the Tide on the road, and with that victory it leads us here in the championship match right up against the team that brought them in the first place. But they're not facing backups anymore. They have to face and contain the full wrath of MVP Max Adams. The Cinderella story continues. Today, we have your final seed, 6th seed Red Pandas going up against the #1 seed in the Comets. Let's take a look at these matchup breakdowns. Top to bottom, these teams have very similar builds. On the Comets side, both of these wings, Sammy Swanson and Manuel Cook, are going to be feeding the ball through the middle, through Max Adams, and trying to get a high volume of scores, utilizing the MVP. But the Red Pandas have a secret weapon of their own. Joey Spencer has been electric in the postseason, and you can bet that a high volume of points are going to be funneled through the center of the field and through their top scorer, and Joey Spencer, #4. The burden today is going to be on Todd Ross and Elvin Noriga to be able to contain these two high-powered offenses. I would expect a lot of play on the top side of the screen between Sammy Swanson and Isaac Forrester, but make no mistake, this game lives and dies between Max Adams and Joey Spencer. I would predict that whoever scores more between those two players will ultimately win the game today. So keep your eyes over the middle of the playing field, because while it is a team match, those two rookies are going to be driving the life force of each of their teams today. Alright, it's just about time. Are we ready for it? I'm getting goosebumps just sitting here thinking about it. This game has me nervous and I don't even have a side to choose. I can't imagine sitting here being a Comets fan or being a Red Pandas fan watching this game. The anticipation is killing me. It is time. Let's introduce these players. As always, for the playoffs, including the championship game, there will be 1 minute on the clock. The players will be coming out of the tunnel shortly, and immediately after we will start the Season 4 championship game. Comets versus Red Pandas right here on the FSL channel. This is a neutral site game, no home field advantage for the championship match, but we will announce your first seed Comets first. On offense, it's Max Adams, Sammy Swanson, Manuel Cook, Elvin Noriga, Jason Green, and Irvin Harris. And for the Red Pandas, it's Joey Spencer, Isaac Forrester, Clayton Harrington, Todd Ross, Cornelius Gross, and Cleveland Falk. 1 minute on the clock, and we start things off with a turnover from Cornelius Gross. The Comets trying the top side of the screen, but Gross gets out the Spencer right over the middle, and he scores. The Red Pandas with a hot start, and we talked about the potential of both these teams getting the top side of the screen involved, but they are getting it involved early. Look at Todd Ross winning his matchup. 1 turnover to 0 points between him and Max Adams, but Sammy Swanson picks up the slack. The Comets are up 3-2, make it 4-2 now. Max Adams getting involved, and the Comets are controlling this game. Comets in the driver's seat as we get into the second half. Joey Spencer doing his best to keep the Red Pandas in this one, but as you look, Max Adams with 3, Joey Spencer with 2. The game is tied, but the Comets in control right now. This Red Pandas defensive front starting to give way as we approach 10 seconds remaining in this game. 5 points for Max Adams today versus Joey Spencer's 2, but look at these Red Pandas wings getting involved. Isaac Forrester picks up the slack and the Red Pandas take the lead, and now the Comets have to respond, but they won't. It will not be enough. 9-11, Isaac Forrester now with 6 points for the Red Pandas. The game is over. The Cinderella story continues. The Red Pandas are your FSL champions of Season 4, and who could have expected Isaac Forrester to be the MVP of this game? Joey Spencer has been the guy all off-season. The Comets knew this, and they cheated down, giving Elvin Noriga some help in containing Joey Spencer, the very talented rookie. But the Red Pandas coach watched the game, made the proper adjustments, and then they started feeding that top side, using the wings of Isaac Forrester, taking advantage of that open space, and scoring 6 points from the top side alone. 6 from Isaac Forrester, 3 for Clayton Harrington, and it is the wings that stepped up. When Joey Spencer is shut down, the rest of the team steps up. And preseason, we were talking like this was a one-man team, and Max Adams versus Joey Spencer is a tough matchup if you're the Red Pandas. But this is what championship teams do. When one player is shut down, the rest of the team has to step up, and the wings stepped up in a big way. 9-11, the Red Pandas, the expansion team, the 6th seed in the 16 playoff. They get it done in the biggest event of the year. They complete the sweep. The Red Pandas are undefeated against the Comets, and if this matchup hasn't felt like a rivalry yet, this is going to be the first page on the history books of this newly found rivalry. A great season for the Comets. They have set themselves up well. They have found a gem in Max Adams. The Comets will be just fine, but the day belongs to the Red Pandas. Congratulations to Pandas fans everywhere. Take it in. You are the FSL champions. Thank you everyone for watching. This has been a fantastic season. Major props to the players. Maybe this has just been the best season yet. That's all from me in the booth. As always, make sure you check out the FSL Discord. We all have the full playlist for Season 4 right here on YouTube. I know I'm going to go back and watch the Red Pandas from the start, but this has just been an incredible season. Thank you all so much for watching. That's all from me in the booth tonight. Again, congratulations to your world champions, your FSL champions, the Fake Sports League champions, the Red Pandas. I wish you all a good night. This has been an official broadcast of the FSL.